Hey, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be making a seafood rice. This rice is perfect to pair with anything. It's so good. So let's get into this tutorial. First, I took my celery and began to just chop it up. Now look y'all, don't say nothing about how I'm cutting up my celery, cutting with nails. Yeah, I should get a medal for that. Let's see y'all do that. But anywho, I'm cutting it up some more, getting it diced up because I don't like for my vegetables to be big. I want them small. Now you can just put this into a vegetable chopper, food processor, whatever you want to call it, and it'll make it so much quicker. But I cut mine by hand. I then went ahead and grabbed my bell pepper. Now this is about a half of a bell pepper that I am cutting up to put into my mixture. And I also grabbed the orange pepper, a little less than half, I'd say about 1/4. Slice that up, and then you're gonna see me dice it up. Once again, like I told you before, I don't like my veggies to be big, so I am making them smaller. And please don't forget to wash all of your vegetables before you begin cutting them and cooking them, because trust me, you're not trying to get somebody sick because you ain't cleaned your stuff. Next up is the star of the show, shallot. I love shallots. I got about a half a shallot and just began to cut that up. I diced it up as well and then put that to a side. Now I use fresh ingredients with everything that I cook, so you can use frozen or pre-diced vegetables. I don't suggest it. I like fresh everything. Me personally, I can always tell the difference between fresh or something that was frozen. Just keep going over it with your knife as many times as you desire. Once it gets to the size that you want, then you can stop. Once again, I like my stuff small, so I go over and over again with my knife to try to make it as small as possible. Now I grabbed my onion. This is about a half of an onion, a little less than a half of an onion. Then again, I'm just slicing it up. After I slice it, I am going to dice it to try to get it as small as possible. And then you got garlic. I diced up 3 garlic cloves, and here you see the garlic cloves, celery, the peppers, the shallot, and the onion all diced up. So I'm using my Dutch oven to cook this in, but you can use a cast iron skillet, you can use a regular skillet, a pan, pot, whatever you choose to use it in. But I used my Dutch oven. I first put in my oil, let that heat up, and then I threw my butter in there. I then got all of my diced veggies. So I grabbed my celery, my peppers, and my onion, threw it into the pan, and I'm going to saute that down. So let that cook for about, I would say maybe 5 minutes, depending on how well your Dutch oven, skillet, whatever you're cooking in, heats up. So you want to keep stirring just so it won't stick to the bottom. This is how it should look, your veggies, before you add in your shallot and your garlic, because the shallot and garlic will cook up fast. Then once again, give all of that a good stir. Continue stirring everything, keeping an eye just to make sure that your garlic doesn't burn, because garlic will burn and can burn very quickly. So this is how it should look right before you start adding in all of your seasonings. I added my paprika, my zatarans, garlic powder, onion powder, Old Bay, and some white pepper. Then I gave it all a good stir, and this is how your seasonings look once they season. I know it's looking a little dry, so what we're going to do next is just drop in a little bit of butter, just so it won't be so dry. Let that butter melt down. Keep stirring everything constantly. You don't want nothing to stick to that pan and burn. Once the butter is melted, let that cook for just about a minute or 2, and then you're going to add in all of your rice. Once you add in all of your rice, you're going to give it a good stir until the rice becomes seasoned. And you know it's seasoned when it turns a different color. So just keep mixing everything completely together. Once it is mixed together, then you're gonna let it cook for a few minutes. And this is just to toast the rice. When you toast off that rice before adding all the liquids, it just gives it another layer of flavor. My secret ingredient to this seafood rice is adding white wine to it. So I added in 1 cup of white wine. I gave it a good stir. I let it cook down just a little bit. Added some cheap Pinot Grigio, y'all, $10 at Kroger. Put it in there. If you don't do alcohol, you can just substitute it for another cup of chicken stock. Now I added 3 cups of chicken stock. I gave it a good stir once again. And I didn't do the chicken stock in the containers. I always use Better Than Bouillon. So I got the hot water and melted everything down and then poured it in. And then what you saw on top was just some Italian seasoning and 2 bay leaves. I know y'all can smell all the flavor through y'all screen because my house was smelling so good. So look, this is how your rice should look before adding in your seafood. Right here, I chose to use jumbo lump crab meat. I threw that in the pot. You can use whatever crab meat you want to. It don't have to be the lump crab meat, the jumbo lump crab. Then I added my shrimp, gave that a good stir, put the top back on my Dutch oven, and let that continue to cook. This dish is really so good, and you can pair it with anything. Seafood, fried chicken, whatever, steak, it doesn't matter. I personally paired mine with some tilapia and crab meat on top, along with some garlic spinach and some bay biscuits that I call them. Let me know what y'all think of this video. If you like it, please like, comment, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel.